Joining us now, Republican Senator John Kennedy of Louisiana. Senator Kennedy, always good to have you. Thank you, sir. Your state exported $10 billion worth of goods to China just last year, more than it shipped to any other country. In 2023, Louisiana's overall export of goods accounted for more than 30% of your GDP. This is all according to the Office of the U.S. Trade Representative. How worried are you about this trade war with China and its potential impact on the jobs of hardworking families in your state?
Well, we don't know yet. I listened to your prior guest, the gentleman you interviewed, predict that civilization is going to melt, and I don't see any indication of that. I heard you comment about Mr. Dalio saying that the world economic structure is going to break down. I don't see any indication of that. The dollar's a little bit weaker and interest rates have gone up. Here's what I see. I see a lot of uncertainty. And I think to some extent it's intentional. If you listen to the president's aides weekend before last and then listen to them this weekend, you don't have to be Einstein's cousin to figure out they were saying things that were inconsistent. Now, that raises one or two possibilities to me. Either it's intentional or these folks aren't competent to manage a food truck. Now, I know them. They're intelligent people, whether you agree with them or not. So I think the administration, for whatever reason, is obfuscating a little bit. Maybe it's part of the president's negotiating strategy. I just don't know. I do know this: tariffs are important, but so are high prices. The trade balance is abstract. The price of eggs is concrete, and we need to be spending a lot of time on reconciliation, redesigning the tax code, deregulating the economy, reducing spending to get prices down. That's it. Is at least as important as tariffs, in my opinion.
Well, let's talk about the so-called big, beautiful bill President Trump is urging Congress to pass, which will lay out most of the president's agenda, including tax cuts that you just mentioned, additional border security, and more. The House of Representatives passed its framework last week. You're now calling for a 60-day deadline to hash everything out before calling in President Trump. Senator Lindsey Graham of South Carolina, he wants to get the bill to the president by Memorial Day. Are you confident that the House, the Senate, and the White House can make a deal on what should be included?
Here's what I think will happen, for what it's worth. And before I leave the subject, just remember, Jake, there's no tariff fairy that you can go to get instructions on how to do this. This stuff's more art than science, and I think we're living that experience. Now, to answer your question, Mike Johnson did a great job getting the House on board. Here's what I predict will happen. Mike and John Thune in the Senate will give their bodies 30 to 60 days to try to come to a consensus on what's going to be in the bill. We won't. It'll be like herding butterflies. We'll end up having to go to the president, and this isn't necessarily a bad thing, and say, Mr. President, arbitrate this. Tell us what you think should be in, what should be out. And then President Trump is going to have to go sell it. Otherwise, I think we could spend a year on this and get nothing done. Sometimes we do spend a year and get nothing done. That's not a good thing. I mean, the economy needs a little boost right now in light of all the tariff uncertainty and the reconciliation bill, and designing a tax code to stimulate growth, and designing a tax code that looks like somebody designed it on purpose can fit that bill, in my opinion.
So you just talked about the need for President Trump to explain whatever is agreed upon. I have heard from Republicans on this show and others saying that they didn't think President Trump, as great as a communicator as they think he is normally, fully explained what he is trying to do with these tariffs. In other words, yes, he has talked a lot about tariffs, but the idea that he is seeking to reshore manufacturing to the United States, and that this is going to be a difficult period, and that there are going to be higher prices, and on, that has not been, in their view, adequately communicated to the American people. What do you think?
Well, here's what I think. I see what you see. I think I know what's in the president's heart, but I don't know what's in his head. The people you're talking about are right. The administration has not given one clear rationale for its tariffs. I think that's intentional. That I don't know, but my guess is it's intentional, and that it is part of the president's negotiating strategy. But Jake, I don't want to feign understanding here. I don't know, but that's my best guess, knowing how the president operates.
Republican Senator John.
I mean, the president believes.
Go ahead.
I was just going to say the president believes if you're going to be a bear, be a grizzly. Like him or dislike him, agree or disagree. Right now, he's being a grizzly.
Republican Senator John Kennedy of Louisiana, thank you so much. Always good to have you on, sir.